Hello, guys. Welcome to another edition of Bloodshots, podcast about movies and TV shows. To my right, Wes and Harley. Is that your new lover?
Hello to you too.
She looks all cozy in your man arms. To my left,
Marms.
Schmidt.
Marms.
Schmidt.
Push your cap down. You're sliding off.
Sorry.
In the far distance, Marley.
Yeah. We thought maybe they'll think that's you. Like, why is she crying on the floor? Nobody puts me on TV. Are you sad, girl? Oh, you're so sad. As always, if you guys like what you see, head on over to Facebook and like us. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe to us. Go to patreon.com/derailed. Help support the show so we can bring you new and exciting content and or props. This week, we saw...
Nope.
What?
Check out Becca.
Check out Becca on the
Twitch.
floor?
On
On
Yeah,
Twitch.
on the floor.
Check
I'm
out.
gonna start my own podcast.
Are you gonna be-
Set your calendars for November 1st.
I thought
Am
that
I
was
gonna
at the
be
end of
what?
the show like his.
Before and the end.
He didn't say it in the beginning of his.
I'm
so-
aware of that.
Okay.
Am I gonna what?
I thought you were going to Twitch stream movies and TV shows.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna Twitch stream myself watching.
Yeah, you should. Scary movies.
Oh my god, I
Scary
do
movies.
fucking like this the whole time.
It's so exaggerated.
It's not. I can't handle it.
Nothing makes me jump, but she does. In the movie theater. I'm like, Jesus.
I've seen so many movies now that, like, the escalating music is
Yeah.
kind of, like, de-escalating for me. It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Oh, here we
well,
go.
something's going to pop out soon.
Yeah.
So you just kind of relax and wait for it. And then
Or
it
there's the
comes.
silence.
Yeah.
And then you look one way and there's nothing, like, then you turn, bam! Oh, God.
I know it's
oh,
gonna
sorry.
happen, and yet I still jump every time. I know it's gonna happen. I just can't do it.
So, yeah, we got a couple of things. You guys can watch Becca's stream on Twitch, playing various video games. I don't know what your thing is. Beckarg.
I'll put the link in the description.
Down here somewhere.
Special.
Down right here somewhere. And then we are also going to be piggybacking off of Kind of Funny for a charity live stream on November 1st from 10 to 10?
10 to 10.
Right? 10 to 10. 10 a.m. on November 1st to 10 a.m. on November 2nd. And it's going to be for some charity. It's going to be some good stuff. We're going to have games. We're going to have fun. We're going to have alcohol. We're going to have prizes. Wes is probably going to shave something. Or get shaved. Yeah, you're getting shaved. Your legs are getting shaved.
We're
I thought we
gonna
were waxing.
we're gonna tape your pubes to your unibrow, make a unibrow.
Can we shave Wes's beard? Can that be?
Oh, God. When's the last time you shaved the beard?
Completely?
Yeah. 2009.
Check with Donnie.
Check what's up.
Tell her it's for the kids.
Yeah.
Seattle Children's Hospital. All proceeds go to Seattle Children's
All
Hospital.
three of us clean shave.
Oh, God, I can't do it. I look like a fucking 12-year-old.
I don't mind the beard being shaved, just not your head.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll see.
can't do
More
that.
news to come.
I can't do it.
November 1st, November 2nd, 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. Prizes, drunkenness, games, streaming,
Milestones.
milestones.
For the
fruits.
kids.
Sleeping pups.
Twitch changed their policy so you can show male nipples. So
Ooh, male
ready to
nipples.
see
Only
you.
male
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can't show female nipples.
Only male nipples. What if you have fat guy male nipples?
Free the hashtag free the nip.
So we won't get banned if I take my shirt off because my shirt's coming off
Oh, why?
for the kids.
Yeah, for
That
the
sounds weird.
that's disturbing.
Let's start the show.
Okay.
Bruce
So,
is so sad.
what? Bruce is fine. He's a big boy.
We didn't go to the movies theaters this week.
We did not.
Was there anything out to see this week?
Rough night.
Rough night?
It's the only thing I would have wanted to see.
All eyes on
And
me.
honestly, I'm okay seeing it on DVD. You know, paying $15 for a movie ticket.
Yeah. What is the next one, though?
Cars 3.
I don't know. This week is
I
Transformers.
can't think of anything. Yeah, fuck Transformers.
So we don't have anything next week either.
So starting July, then you'll get Spider-Man,
Well, so
War
our
of the Planet of the
upcoming
Apes.
oh fuck yeah, upcoming movies are AMC version 6.1.0.
Babe, I'm doing it. Let me do my
Transformers.
job.
Becca Tech's got it, bro.
Let me do my job.
All Eyes on Me. That's the one that came out and got terrible reviews. So we
Also,
skipped it.
47 meters down.
Oh, the shark one?
Yeah, with Mandy Moore.
Vinny chases girl.
Pass.
Vinny chases girl.
Can I do my job, please? Sir, over there, are you listening to me?
No.
How often does he listen to you?
Like 2%.
2%.
2%. That's more than I thought I was going to get. Because he over-exaggerates all the time. I thought I was going to get
Despicable Me 3. We could watch
negative
Despicable Me
Ooh,
3.
I would see that. Hell yeah.
The
I
House-
love Despicable
The
Me.
House comes out next week.
The House?
Next week.
June
house.
30th.
The hell's the house?
The House is the one with Will Ferrell.
The movie you're
and
excited
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Baby Driver.
Yeah,
I'm going to see it.
you would.
Amityville: The Awakening.
Really? Another Amityville? Jesus. Is it got Ryan Reynolds in it?
I wish.
No. Who's
Jacked
Cameron
up.
Moynihan?
Jacked up Ryan Reynolds.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
What's 13 minutes?
I don't know. A rodeo?
Hitler.
Let's talk about the movies we did see.
We saw some 3 B-rated horror flicks.
They're not B, they're just
Horror.
indie. They're not B.
Yeah, they're B.
They're not B.
Her name was B.
LLC is
a
B.
Her
LLC
name,
is B.
Her name was B. In Honeymoon.
True, yeah. B-A-E. Bay.
Bay. Bay. Bay.
Why stand in the woods naked, Bay?
That's pretty much how it sounded. Oh my god. So what do you want to start with? Which one?
LLC, because we saw that first.
Okay.
Then we saw...
Bay. And we saw B.
Yeah.
And then we saw Coherence.
B-A-E.
Yeah. We saw Bay Bay.
Coherence.
Honey Bay Bay.
Coherence.
So Hell House, right? It was Hell House.
House.
Was like a documentary-ish kind
What's
of
the
feel.
LLC?
Limited Liability Corporation.
Thank you. Nailed it. Which I'm glad they had limited liability
Yeah.
coverage because shit went down.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's a mockumentary.
I want you to start it off because I missed the first like 20 minutes of the movie because I was playing and then I got into it. Then I stopped what I was doing and I started watching it.
It's a mockumentary about a group of 20-somethings that have a very successful haunted house in upstate New York. They then move to like rural New York state and open up a new hell house in an abandoned hotel that was condemned. And so they purchased it, fixed it, made it into a hell house. It's a mockumentary. So first they're interviewing reporters and people who showed up to the scene, like police people, and then they're like, we got privilege to talk to one of the people who worked there, and then she shows up to the interview and she's like, here's all these tapes from when we were fixing it. And so you see them fixing the thing, so all the lead up to the disaster. You see a little bit of preview of the disaster, like here's a tape, here's a YouTube footage video that one of the people posted as all the shit was going down. Basically, they're walking through this crazy haunted house, and then a bunch of people start running backwards, like towards people, and then everyone's like, get out, blah. It's just mass hysteria, and then the guy falls over, and then... So you get a little bit of, here's what happened, but you're not sure exactly what happened. It was just kind of mayhem. And then background of like, hey, we're young kids, and we're going to open up our new Hell House LLC, and a bunch of haunted stuff happens as they're building it.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a clown doll.
There's a couple of them.
Creepy
That like
clown.
moves.
Yeah.
He like stands in the hall. They put it in the basement.
Its head turns.
Yeah. So they put it in the basement, and there's like 3 like life-size clowns standing next to each other, and then like someone hears something. Every night, someone hears something while they're sleeping, and so they get up with the flashlight. And they're like, "Oh, what was that? Look, what was that? I don't know, man. Go check it out."
And
So they go check it out.
yeah, and they all think they're fucking with each other.
Yeah.
You know, like the camera guy's fucking with the other guys, and like vice versa, and the chick is like weird.
It was decent. Like, it wasn't hard to watch, but it wasn't like,
Yeah.
you know.
Once the shoddy camera work in the beginning went away from me, I was able to watch it because I can't do the jumpy camera filming
Not a shaky
all the time.
cam.
Oh god.
There's a really good scene where the guy who mostly holds the camera he goes to sleep with the camera, so he puts it up there and then goes to sleep. And at one point, he's going to bed. He's like, hey, man, we have like 3 weeks left. It's getting crazy, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, behind him, you see the doorway. And, like, this shadow figure, like, walks in through the door. And he turns around and he's like, Sarah, is that you? Blah, blah, blah. And then it just, like, turns around and, like, walks away. And he's like, that was weird. And then he wakes up in the morning later on in the movie. And he turns the camera on. And behind him, like, up against the wall is, like, this girl in a white like dress, like just sitting there with her head down, and she's like all bloody or whatever. And so he doesn't see her because he's like turning the camera on and he's like stretching or whatever, and then he grabs the camera and turns around and then sees her, and he like puts the blanket over him and then lifts up the blanket, and then she's still sitting there but she's like looking at him. And then he covers himself up again and then lifts it back up, and she's like right there and like eats him or whatever. But
which I'm assuming that's who possessed him, maybe?
Yeah.
Because, like, he disappears for, like, a couple days, and then they find him in the basement later on, all, like, lethargic and everything, just kind of sitting there. And he doesn't speak or, like, do anything for the rest of the time until the night of the incident.
What does he do?
They found him in the basement, like, they saw him. And then there's some guy that looked like a clown ran out. It looked like, from what I could see, he was eating a person or something like that. Because remember they were calling for the one guy, I think his name was Phil or something like that. And then, like, you see, like, all this commotion and people moving around. It's hard to figure out, like, what is going on. But one of the actor ladies was, like, chained up to the thing as part of the display, you know? And she was screaming, saying, Phil, stop, whatever. And then, like, it looked like he was dressed as a clown, like, eating somebody, like, on the floor. I don't know if that was, like, a prop or something.
No. So what happened was, you're talking about, like, when there's people in the house, right?
In the very end.
Yeah. So they're running. This is the actual incident. So they're running the Hell House. It's going for a couple hours. And you go through the whole like hotel or whatever, and then you eventually go down into like this unfinished basement area. It's all cement, and you've got the girl hanging up like this. You've got the 3 clowns sitting on the ground, and then there's like this little like doorway with like tassels on it, and then all of a sudden like people start coming out of that one, and it's like the guy who disappeared, the guy who got eaten or whatever, and so they start rushing at people, and so that's what scares people, like the people with the cameras, because people start coming out of it, and then as hysteria is going on next to the girl hanging in the clowns, you see the hooded figure like standing in the background, and that's who's eating the girl.
That's what I missed. I missed that little scene because I didn't see the hooded figures until the very, very end.
Yep, so he was down in the basement.
Oh, okay.
It turns out that it's like a cult, like an evil cult.
The owner of the hotel like killed himself.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Like he was part of a cult, and then he hanged himself when he found out that the police were onto him or whatever, to his little cult thing.
Oh, twist, the woman who they get the tapes from is like, okay, this is too much. I'm going to go back to my hotel room. I'm in room 2C. And they're like, okay, we'll come find you later. And then on her way out, she's like, have you guys gone into the Hell House? And they're like, no, it's all boarded up or whatever. And she's like, you should go check it out. You should see it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's all boarded up. She's like, just go see it.
Yeah.
So she goes away. They're like, okay, let's go see it. 2 of them go see it. The video guy stays back. On the way out, they check with the concierge, and they're like, hey, can you let us know where blah, blah, blah is? She's in 2C, and she's like, we don't have a 2C. And they're like, really? Okay, we'll check the name or whatever. And they're like, there's nobody with that name.
Yep.
So they go check out Hell House. They break in. They like open a board or whatever. Go in there, and they start checking it out, and shit starts going down, like the hooded figures or whatever. And then... Or no, shit doesn't go down. They're just exploring it.
Yeah.
They find room 2C.
Yep.
In there, not the hotel that they're staying at. So they open up 2C, and then the girl's there, and she's like sitting there, and then all of a sudden the 2 figures show up, and then
and it
the
cuts
camera
back.
over, yeah.
It cuts back to the video guy who's now watching footage that they didn't get to see before. Like he stayed back to continue watching footage. So you see girl who was just interviewed, right? You see her run up to Paul, who is the camera guy that disappeared. She's like, "Oh my God, Paul, you're alive." She sets the camera down. Like she hugs him. He doesn't do anything. He walks over to the camera, picks it up, hits her in the head with it a couple times. She falls down, and you see the camera is on the floor showing her laying on the floor bloody, and then him standing there, right? So you just see his legs. Then all of a sudden she gets dragged off, and then he is like doing this weird motion, like turning with his legs like this. And then all of a sudden he drops down to the floor with his throat cut. So like he killed himself.
So then you're like, oh shit, girl is actually dead. How is she there? She's possessed. Then it cuts back to the room. The hooded figures show up, kill the camera people. The end.
Yep.
It was all right.
And the police, they interviewed a cop in the beginning of the documentary that said that the wounds on the one dude like look self-inflicted. So they were like super confused. And then you see him at the end like cutting his own throat.
Hell House LLC.
Sounds interesting, but
It's not. If you're bored.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we were like, let's watch a fucking cheesy horror movie or whatever, and we found it and it had decent reviews. People on Reddit were like, it's the best found footage movie in years. So we were like, oh, let's watch it. She fell asleep. So then we watched another one. Honeymoon. She fell asleep.
I also picked the movie.
She picks the movies. She falls asleep.
seems
I don't want to watch
It's my stream. That's gonna be that'll be my Twitch stream.
Oh, jeez.
Napping with Becca.
Yeah.
That's one of the most
It's
attractive
not, you don't
things.
take naps, you take mini comas.
nothing wakes her.
What's that?
Honeymoon, you probably know the guy more than the girl. Most people know the girl because she's from Game of Thrones, but you don't watch Game of Thrones. The
Egret.
guy is from Penny Dreadful, but you don't know Penny Dreadful.
I know
I
Penny
thought you
Dreadful.
might know Penny Dreadful.
I know Penny Dreadful though.
I know a little bit of it.
It's the guy from that.
The main character.
I think so, yeah. So he and Egret are on their honeymoon, and they go to a cabin that she grew up in the woods, like on a lake, and they're like super in love, fucking everywhere. She's showing him around. They're banging on everything.
Pretty much.
They're like,
So much so that Aaron thought it was a rom-com
yeah.
at first.
They were so, like, the first half an hour is like joking,
Yeah.
like, oh, we're so funny together. You know, they definitely got married within like 3 months of meeting each other. It's like that gross, like, I don't want to listen to your cute little jokes, like, slit my throat.
Honey Queen. Baby.
She's like, oh, let's go grab a bite to eat. And they go to the restaurant and they're like, my old buddy who I used to hang out with when I was a kid works here or runs the place or whatever. And he like stumbles out of the back room and he's like, we're closed, and like throws a lamp or whatever and like gets all angry. And then he recognizes her and he's like, oh, hey, Egret. We're friends.
B.
We're friends.
B. B's
Baby.
B. B. Bay.
And then his wife pops out and she's all like,
Weird.
looks like she's dying. Like she's like pale or whatever.
Yeah, she's got blood on her too.
And he's like, what are you doing here? And like grabs her arm. He's like, I told you to stay back there. And then he's like, BA, you should come back soon.
BA.
And they're like, okay, we're going to leave. That was creepy. So then
BA.
at night, these like lights shine through the windows like these high beams. And it's like, wah, 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 wah. And then it goes to another window and it goes, right? And then eventually she gets up in the middle of the night, walks into the woods, wakes her husband up by like banging into something, chases her out, and she's in the middle of the woods naked, standing there, and he's like, B, what happened? B, what happened? And she's like, nothing, I'm fine, nothing. And he like carries her back, and she's got like these 3 little like holes in her inner thigh, like 3 on each thigh. And so they go to bed, and he's like really worried. Your immediate thought is like, it's either aliens, which I called it, or that weird dude like is trying to like molest her or something, right? So when they're flirty or whatever, they go out to the river or to the lake, and they're like, we should go swimming. And then they put their fingers in the water, and they're like, oh my god, it's so cold.
Yeah.
There's no way we're gonna go swimming. Let's fuck. So then they bang
Again.
and then they go out again after that night, and he like makes a little flirty joke like from the first half hour, and she like doesn't think it's funny, and so he's like, something's wrong. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, nothing's wrong. She's like, we should go swimming. And he's like, yeah, but it's like it's too cold or whatever. And she just jumps in and like isn't affected by the coldness or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just thought it would be funny. It's like super weird. She's basically super weird.
She also like talks to herself in the mirror to like make excuses for why she doesn't have sex with him.
Yeah. So he's like, let's bang. We're on our honeymoon, and she's like, no, I can't. Blah blah blah. And it's like super off. It's out of character from her first half hour. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. And then he sees her in the mirror like, oh, I just have a headache and I took some Advil. And then she like rehearses it again. So it's like, what the fuck? She's like writing in a journal like, my name is B, my husband is John, I'm from blah, blah, blah. This is my childhood vacation home, blah. It's like super weird. She's like writing it in a journal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he tries to like finger bang her or whatever, and then she starts bleeding everywhere. And he's like, okay, great, this is weird. She's like, I'm just on my period. He's like, that's not fucking period blood, that's crazy. And she just keeps making up all these lies. The really unsettling part of it, it's aliens, by the way, is that she never comes out and says, like, B's gone, I'm an alien now. You know, she is still B. But she doesn't know what's going on in her head, like something's happening. And so she's like constantly arguing with him, like, no, nothing's wrong, I'm fine. You're being weird. But also like, help me at the same time. She's like, something like, help me, I don't know what's happening, but like nothing's wrong. It's very weird. It would be a lot more like settling if it was that resolution of like, I'm an alien, I'm taking over B's body, I'm not B. Mm-hmm. But because she never admits it and she fights it the whole time, it's very weird. You never get this closure on what happens. She starts bleeding everywhere out of her vagina. Then she's in the bathroom with like this knife or whatever, like jamming it up herself and like trying to get something out, and there's blood everywhere on the bathroom. And so he's like, what the fuck, and like holds her on the bed, and she's like, help me, get it out of me. And so he jams his hand up there and like magician sleeves this fucking snake out of her, like this huge little like alien snake.
Oh, it's so weird.
And it's like,
yeah,
you know, yeah.
It's super weird.
And then the lights come again, and like it shines on her face, and she's like, they don't want you, they only want me. I have to get rid of you. Kills him, wanders off into the forest, and then you see these like big alien figures or whatever, and then it just ends.
It's supposed to be her protecting him. That's what
Yeah, supposedly.
she's
And then she killed him anyway.
protect you, and then she like kills him in the water.
Yeah, because apparently the aliens only want women. It was good though. It was very well acted. I called it was aliens. It was okay. It was good. It was all right.
Did you ever see the movie Nothing But Trouble?
No.
Back in the day? It was like an 80s Dan Aykroyd, John Candy movie. Have you? It was if you ever watched the music video, The Humpty Dance by Digital Underground,
Okay.
that they took scenes from that movie and put it in the video. It's super funny. I can't remember who but like John Candy plays like 4 different characters, Dan Aykroyd, but they have like these giant sausage things that he makes them eat, and it looks like the fucking...
I was wondering, like, what are you...
I was like, hopefully this goes at some point. There's the connection.
Damn it, Harley Quinn.
New t-shirt idea.
Damn it,
Where's
Harley
the
Quinn. Harley Quinn.
Third movie.
So the third movie you've seen multiple
Incoherent.
times, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a good movie. It's an indie movie, but it's good. It's the least B. Actually, no. It's on the same level as Honeymoon. They're both very low budget indie, like 10 characters maybe. Like in Honeymoon, there's 4 people in the entire movie.
Yeah.
And like 2 locations.
It's like hard candy.
Yeah, it's very, very low budget. This is 10 people and 1 location. Just a house in like LA.
All right. So what's this movie about?
So this one is, wow.
It's called Coherence.
Yeah. So like it starts off with like this dinner party, and supposedly there's a comet that's going over the whatever the area they are, and they're having this dinner party, and then like weird shit.
I remember you talking about this movie before.
On the podcast?
I want to say
Maybe.
yes.
It's still newsworthy because he's seen it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he has questions.
So this is what I remember of it. There's a dinner party. There's a comet. Some weird things start happening. It's a bunch of like, is it college friends or something that reunited again?
Yeah, I mean,
For like a dinner. They grew up
know-
together
yeah.
or something.
They all have a history.
Yeah, there's a history. There's exes who have slept with other guys that are there and like stuff like that, right? And
Everybody's
then
coupled up.
Yeah, everybody's
Everybody
coupled
has a
up.
couple.
And then there's like one girl that like slept with another guy and whatever. So then weird shit starts happening. Like the power's flickering. There's weird knocks on the door. Then the power goes out for a little while. So it's like pitch black. They go outside to try to investigate to see what's going on. They see that there's another house kind of up the road that has their lights on. So the guy who owns the house and like 2 other people went to go check it out. He said that he went around to the front. There was nobody there.
That's when the knock happens.
When they leave or when he comes back?
When they leave.
They leave.
So they're gone, and then the knock happens,
Yeah.
and they're like, what the fuck?
There's
Guy
like some
looks.
big guy standing there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he goes and looks, and like no one's there.
Okay.
He's like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And then...
But he saw like, right? Didn't he see the dining room? He said he saw the dining room and there was 8 places set up.
when he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the people come back who went to go up. So basically, the comet is going over. Girl's phone shatters for no reason. She's just talking to somebody, and then it like or whatever. One of the guys is like, "Do you guys have no one's cell phone is working?" They're like, "Do you have a home phone?" He's like, "No." Do you have like a computer? And he's like, "Yeah." And then it's like the internet's not working. And they're like, "Why?" And he's like, "I need to call my brother." And they're like, "Why do you need to call your brother?" And he's like, "Well, he just said that if like while the comet's going over, if like something happens, just to like stay inside and give him a call." And they're like, "What? That's fucking weird." So that's why he's like, "I'm gonna go up there and see if they have a phone since their lights are on." So they leave. Knock happens. No one's there at like the other door. Then they come back. He's bleeding. Other guy has a box, and they're like, "What happened?" And he's like, "We went over there, and then." So the guy with the box is like, "I saw you drop it." And the other guy's like, "I didn't have a box. I never dropped a box." And he's like, "No, you dropped it, so that's why I picked it up." He's like, No, I didn't do that." He's like, "I went around and I looked inside. I got freaked out, and then I left." And they're like, "Well, what'd you see?" And he's like, "I saw a dinner table. I saw us." Like he saw everybody there. And they open the box, and it's a ping pong paddle, a bunch of pictures of each of them with numbers written on the back of them, and something else. But yeah, it's a box full of all that shit. And they're like, so obviously like, what the fuck's going on, right? So another thing we missed is when the power initially goes out, guy who owns the house brings out 3 boxes of glow sticks. So they light candles or whatever. There's a blue glow sticks, green glow sticks, and red glow sticks. They pick out the blue ones. And so that's what they use when they go outside to like see where they're going or whatever. So So
The order of events is fucking me up.
yeah. So big guy who cut himself is like, I'm gonna try to go back over there. I'm gonna leave a note saying like, hey, not trying to freak you guys out, just need to use your phone real quick, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, somebody sees a big guy out on the porch, and they're like, what the fuck? And then they go up to the door and they look through the thing and no one's there. And then he's like, are you fucking kidding me? And so the guy's writing this note, right? Like, hey, I'm just gonna drop this. I just need to use your phone. Other guy opens the door, pulls the note off of the the door, and it's the same note that the guy's writing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bizarre. So they're like, okay, we need to go over there and figure out what's going on. So they put on their blue glow sticks, start going outside, and there's like this long street, right? So they're down here, house is up here. There's like this really dark section where there's like no street lights or anything. They go over to the middle part and then see themselves with red glow sticks. Mm-hmm. And they both groups stop and stare at each other, and they're like, holy shit, that's you and that's me, blah blah blah. And then the other team like runs away, and then they whatever. So it's basically like, while the comet's going over, the center of the street is like a roulette wheel, and as you walk through it, you're sent into another reality where they chose green blue sticks or whatever. And so once they figure out what the box is for, they make their own box just in case anyone has to leave. They know when they come back, this is my house, right? This is the house that I came from. So they put a coaster, they put numbers on the back of the pictures, put it in this box, and eventually the main character woman is like confused about people's motives or like what happened or whatever. And so she's like, hey, what was your number when we opened the first box? And they're like, it was 3. And like she asked a bunch of people, and so she writes down the numbers that they put on their pictures. She writes down the numbers that were on the pictures from the original box. And like, so some people are from another reality and some people are from this. So basically multiple people it's not the same as the beginning people. Shit starts to go down. They start to get mad at each other. One of the guys is a recovering alcoholic, and he starts drinking because of the stress. And he's like, what if I, like, from another reality, come over here to kill me so that I don't get drunk and go over there and kill him, right? So he starts drinking and getting crazy or whatever. They describe it a little bit. So the coherence thing comes from a Schrodinger's cat, where right now there's, all possible realities right now because the comet's going over. So as the comet's going over, the box is closed. They're in the house, and every possible scenario is real until someone opens the box and then it collapses into one function. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like that, but there's another quantum theory called decoherence, where decoherence, while there's all those possibilities, this theory keeps them from interacting with each other. So the reason it's called coherence is because all of these different scenarios have now interacted with each other, and it's like fucking things up. So shit goes crazy. The main character woman, like her boyfriend is starting to be really mean, and so she goes for a walk or whatever, and her idea is to keep walking through the middle until she gets to one to a reality where, and this is kind of like Rick and Morty, where like there's a reality where everything's possible. So she goes to a reality where nothing happens. So she goes to a reality where everyone's happy and just sitting around and drinking wine. And then she gets herself to go outside by like breaking a window. And then while herself from the happy reality is out there, she like poisons her or whatever, chloroforms her, and then takes her place. But then she like comes back or whatever and is like crawling into the bathroom, and like she sees her, and so she hits her on the head and leaves her in the tub, and her ring falls off, and she takes the ring off of her other self and puts the ring on, and goes back out into the living room, passes out. Meanwhile, this is in the happy scenario, right? Wakes up in the morning. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Did you drink too much?" Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine." And she sees her boyfriend, and he's like super lovey-dovey, and everything's back to normal. And he's like, "Hey, you dropped your ring last night in the bathroom." And so basically, because the comet's back, the person that she knocked out or whatever is gone. Like that person doesn't exist anymore. So it like she went back to her reality. So she's not in the bathtub anymore. That's why she never got caught with like killing herself, basically. So they walk out. Her and her boyfriend walk outside. He gets a phone call, and he's like, "Oh, weird, it's from you," and answers it, and then looks at her, and she's like, and then it ends. Yeah, it's weird. Boom. Lost. I think it's a good movie. I think it's smart. There's not a lot of holes. After watching it 3 times,
It definitely sucked me in.
I haven't broken it. You know, it all kind of still makes sense to me. So, I like it.
Seems good. Coherent.
You'd probably like it.
Coherence, yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably like it. It was a good movie. It definitely sucked me in. I was like doing something, and then I was like, "Oh, movie." Big girl. Did you like it, Harley? Did you like the movie?
Harley was sleeping.
She's like, "You were sleeping, Mom." Shh.
Yeah, she was sleeping.
Where's my little leg up? I don't know. Dad, protect me.
You want to explain the ending?
Oh, do you have questions?
I just didn't understand if her self went back, like she was gone, and the new, she was in that reality. How did he get a phone call from her?
I don't know.
That's the only thing I have a question on.
Don't know.
That's the
Maybe
unknown.
she didn't go back.
Where'd she go though? Because if you think about it, like that reality, they were all at their dinner party. They would have slept over, I think.
Yeah. Well, maybe she woke up from the bathtub and like everyone was asleep, and so she just left. I don't know. Maybe you can receive phone calls from other dimensions. Yeah, there's not much to explain, I guess. I mean, basically she killed herself.
She
and-
kills the
Yeah.
happy universe version of herself, tries to live there.
Would that be crazy if she hit herself over the head and that's why she passed out? Because you injure yourself, you know?
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she did that, and
I
then
never
that's
thought
why
about
she
that.
passed
But
out.
just like a delayed reaction type.
love
yeah.
That's great. I didn't
Because she
notice that.
literally hit her, threw her in the bathtub, and then stumbled out and passed out. So it was like maybe 2-3
Switch
minutes.
the rings.
Yeah.
Here is what the director has to say. He says there are 2 ways to watch the film, 2 that are intended. One way is to follow M from the first shot to the last shot.
Mm-hmm.
The other way is to use the cuts to black as a signal of something much more complicated unfolding. And then
Okay.
So that doesn't make that.
That doesn't solve it.
And more
he
confused.
says that like
What I think is that
They
every
try
time
not
it cuts to
spoil
black,
audience members. They didn't want to spoil how you interpret the movie, but there's two ways that they intended to film the movie.
the way that I watch it is every time it cuts to black, it's a different reality. It's a different version. So we're never, after the first time it cuts to black, we never see the original group again.
Wes, take care of me.
Because there's also a scene where they're all around and they're like, wait. What was the item in the box when we first found the box? And he's like, what does that matter? And they're like, just tell me. And he's like, it was a stapler. And they're like, no, it was a fucking ping pong paddle. And they're like, I had an oven mitt. So like they're all fucking scattered together.
Oh, it's a voicemail. That's why it makes sense. It's not a phone call. He got a voicemail from her.
Ah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's the other lady when she's calling him.
So she does go back to her universe,
Yeah.
but he got a voicemail from her before she left.
Right. Oh shit.
That makes more sense. Because he never says that. He just goes, "Oh, it's from you."
It's a voicemail.
So I guess it makes sense that it's voicemail. I just always assumed it was a call. Because I guess that would make more sense.
Yeah.
If he's like, "How are you calling me right now?"
Yeah.
Because he doesn't give that expression. He gives like "Oh, it's from you," like it's a text message or it's a voicemail. That makes sense.
So now the question is, what did the voicemail say?
Presumably what happened to
Yeah,
her.
myself just killed myself. Fuck. I'm in another universe. And now nice version of herself probably replaces the evil version or like that. So she probably like goes back to
A's reality goes to B and B's
But that
reality
doesn't
goes
make
to A.
sense because why wouldn't she during her sleep just go back to hers?
Yeah.
Unless she is
instead of
really
staying
dead.
there.
She's probably actually really dead.
So maybe left her.
She probably left a voicemail and then like had
How
a
would
brain
she leave
hemorrhage.
a voicemail because the phones were all broken?
Don't know.
That means
No. So in the nice reality,
Nothing happens.
nothing happens.
There's no comment.
Oh,
Yeah, there's no outages, there's no nothing. It's just a dinner party, everybody's happy, and that's it.
See, it's a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I've tried to break it a couple times, but it seems to hold pretty good. I like it. I can't believe Lindelof's doing Watchmen.
You heard about
I
that,
gotta
Wes?
watch Leftovers. I can't believe it only had 3 seasons.
Did you hear about that though?
Yeah, I actually was talking to him about it before we started.
I'm excited.
Long
I
form.
love Watchmen.
Long form Watchmen could be really interesting.
I wonder if it'll be like Netflixy.
Well, it's HBO.
Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. HBO. Duh.
So it'll be HBO.
Whatever. I can't wait to start talking about Game of Thrones again.
Oh yeah, definitely doing a reaction show to that every Sunday.
Yep.
Definitely.
Fuck yeah. Every Sunday.
We need to think of cool names for it, like. To be continued.
What can we call it? A game of reactions?
I drink and I say things.
She almost
I drink and I review things.
That's what Peter Dinklage said. I drink and I know things. That was his quote.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That'd be funny though. I drink and I review things. I like it.
Make fun of my shit.
It's okay. We all make fun of each other.
I like it though. I vote.
Thank you.
I vote yay. I drink and I review things. That's pretty cool.
Means you guys have to drink every episode.
Now we have to. Becca has obligated us to
The only
drink
reason
now.
I was going to start drinking on the podcast again on this podcast, but we're playing Drunk Destiny tonight, so I don't want to get a head start.
He'll be playing Drunk Destiny.
I'll play Drunk Destiny with you.
No, you have to work. It's fucking hot in here.
It is hot.
Whenever I want.
Close
I am
the show.
23 years old,
Close the show.
sir.
Every time you say that, I feel so old.
Hey, I'm married to her.
You're 28 only.
Get them while they're young.
Gross.
Shout out to my
Gross.
brother.
That's 2 pedophile jokes now.
He had his baby today.
Oh, what about your sister? Your sister had her baby 3 days ago.
My sister had a baby.
My baby had a sister. My baby.
I'm fucking pissed. All right? I'm the goddamn oldest. And I'm the second to get married and the last to have children. Are you fucking kidding
That's
me?
just because you're doing it right. Yeah, you're doing it right. You're waiting until you're stable enough to have children.
It means you're
That's the correct way to do things, so you don't bring a child into a fucked
your
up
wife
situation.
Is 23, so it's not like you're
Yeah.
like late to the game.
Yeah, but you're like
I know.
23, but you're like 33 when it comes to like your view on like children and family and
Got
all
her.
that stuff.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, that was a compliment.
I really like how you just drone on and on and on.
Babies.
That was an actual
Remember
compliment.
when you were complimenting me about how I drone on and on?
Oh yeah.
I love the way you just drone on and on.
And then he complimented my customer service skills because I'm somber and something. Somber and monotone.
When did I say you drone on and on?
When I was like, should I be, we were talking about like, should I be a lawyer or a teacher or whatever?
Oh yeah, I think you'd be a good history teacher.
And you're like, yeah, you're like, yeah, you just drone on and on about different topics.
Be a good history teacher. He
I
just
was like-
let you have a good lecture voice. You just sort of like,
Yeah. What the fuck? I have the worst family ever. Monotone and somber. So basically, I'm like, hello, sir. Have a nice day.
You're Ben Stein. Bueller. Bueller.
In a good way. I'm Ben Stein in a good way, which means I have his money.
Win Ben Stein's money.
And maybe
You
his,
never won his money though.
maybe his dick size. You'll never know. Or will you know? On November
Babe,
1st.
you are not showing your dick to everybody for the kids.
I'm aware of
That's 3 times. Can we stop referencing sexual innuendos and or body parts for children?
Yeah, babe.
It's okay, I work with kids.
Wait, how does that make it okay?
No.
That's so the priests can all go. Oh, it's okay. We work with kids. It's just locker room talk, bro. Come get in my chamber. Get out of my chamber and into my jetpack.
Give me your confessions, little boy.
Oh, Jesus. All right, this is taking a bad twist. Thanks again for joining us on this episode of Bloodshots. Once again, go to Facebook, like us, go to YouTube and subscribe. Go to Instagram, look at visual movie reviews. Go to patreon.com/derailed, help support the show. Check us out on November 1st for the live stream while we do the charity work for the children's. And
It's not going to be work. It's gonna be
that'll be charity fun. Charity fun. And then
Wes
check
gonna
out
bust his nips.
Beckarg, that sounds like a pirate,
I am a pirate.
A life.
as she Twitch sleeps. We'll see you next time.